Okay. KTT, new episode once every 2 weeks. This is episode 33. I'm Drift. I'm joined by my co-host.
It's BlackStarXero. Just call me Zero.
That's how we're bringing it in. That's the energy we have this time around. So, we're going to be discussing Boruto and then some One Piece, I believe. And this time around, we're going to actually start with the Boruto because we usually leave it to the tail end of the podcast. So, this time around, we're going to switch it up, put it at the front. So, recent chapter, Sarada's Mangekyo Sharingan ability was unveiled, so to speak. Right? We'd already seen the design from as far back as the ending of the initial portion of Boruto, right? But now we have some abilities attached. So, how do you feel about those abilities?
Right. So it seems that she never really trained with it at all during this interval. Confirmed. Right. The beginning of the chapter is like flashback laden, giving some exposition on that. So it seemed like she hadn't used it at all since then. It's the first time she's using it. She's used it quite well. All right.
Okay.
So from what I can see, specifically now onto the abilities, gravitational pull. So we thought initially it was gonna be like Kamui based, because we saw the black orbs.
Yeah.
So we thought it was gonna be Kamui based, where like dimension and stuff like that, but it's not. It's a black hole.
Right.
So that's quite unique. For me though, like when you read the chapter, you get little explanations at the top of it. So we actually have the name now. So it's Mangekyo Sharingan Ohirume.
Orihume.
Ohirume. 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 Ohirume.
Ohirume.
Right?
Okay.
And Ohirume is another name for Amaterasu.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it seems like it's following along the family tradition. Sasuke had Amaterasu. Itachi had Amaterasu. This is an Amaterasu, just in a different flavor.
When you say it's an Amaterasu in a different flavor, what do you mean?
Well, it looks like visually it looks like black flames, right? But
Okay.
it's like balls are like black flames.
All right.
But like I said, it's the name Ohirume is another name for Amaterasu.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'd more say the Amaterasu link in regards to her there would be the design of her Sharingan itself, because her Mangekyo Sharingan is in the design of a sun, and obviously Amaterasu is the Japanese sun god.
Shinzo, yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
But yeah, continue.
So yeah, she seemed to grasp it pretty well. So gravitational control, she seems to have like what's the word I'm looking for here? Sorry, English is failing me. She has like precise control. That's it. Precise control over what she wants affected and what she doesn't.
Yeah.
Right. So, for example, during the fight, she started levitating. Ryu started levitating. The Iron Sand was levitating.
So
Everybody else.
it seems to be an MS that gives her the ability to create what we would call black holes, and also one that gives her a degree of control over like her own gravity and the gravity of selected individuals.
Selected targets.
Okay.
Yep. So that's Sarada's ability so
Right.
far. So that's one. There's usually more than one.
Yeah,
I mean, so
at present right now we don't know any others. You know what I'm saying?
So
So
that's just
I feel
one.
it. So question in regards to her MS and some of the other MSs that we have, you know what I'm saying, from like OG Shippuden, how does she stack up? Like, how, like objectively, how you feeling? You know what I'm saying? Biases aside, how do you feel her MS ability stacks up against, I don't know, like you mentioned, a Kamui, you know what I'm saying, or a Kotoa Matsukami, you know what I'm saying? How you
Right.
feeling?
So all right, cool. I'm hazy on Shizui's MS abilities.
Kotoa Matsukami.
Yeah, the complete hypnosis one.
I mean, you just said it,
right?
Like,
and then what does his other one do?
I mean, the other one wasn't
Isn't
really.
isn't it?
It's not the body flicker. I don't believe. You know what I'm saying?
No?
It might
Alright.
be. It might be because keep in mind I'm not the biggest Shisui stand. You feel
Facts.
me?
Yeah,
So
like,
I really
yeah.
only kind of paid attention as far as like his significance to the overall plot as it was moving. You know what I'm saying? When Sasuke got to the fucking Kage summit, Kotoa Matsukami was being used by Danzo.
Right.
You get me? So that's why it's relevant. And what it does is effectively what you just said. You get me? Complete hypnosis. We're talking ice. You feel me, from Bleach, right? So, how do you feel like Sarada's MS stacks up to like other people? Not even just Shisui in particular, just any like
no,
some of
the reason I mentioned Shizu is because like he's the one I have like the least understanding of what his abilities do.
But
You
for all
understand?
intents and
So
purposes,
Kakashi and Obito, I understand what they do. I understand what Itachi's one does. I understand what Sasuke's one does.
keep in mind, right?
Fugaku, not so much, but
Fugaku's, I don't believe, was ever like detailed.
you understand?
In any capacity.
And then like there's Madara and fucking what's his brother's name? Izuna.
Yeah, Izuna.
Madara and Izuna. You understand? Like so,
Izuna.
like so. All right, cool. In terms of my thoughts on it, yeah, it's a badass fucking ability, bro. You understand? It is.
But how does it stack up though?
Huh?
But how does it stack up? Like, don't get me wrong, I feel like it's a cool ability as well.
Yeah.
But I'm like, not even juxtapose. If I hold
Right,
your
right.
MS ability against some of the MS abilities of like the other hitters, how does it stack up? You know what I'm saying? Like, how you feeling?
Well, that's what I'm trying to thingy, right? So
All right, my bad. I cut you off. Go on.
no. Like, it's kind of hard to articulate this this part here, right? So I feel like it stacks up pretty well.
And keep in mind, for example, one of Sasuke's abilities is Kagutsuchi, and what Kagutsuchi does
It's
is
flame
simply
control and
literally
allows him
just
to manipulate the
the Amaterasu. You get me?
Cool.
Whereas Amaterasu itself is Itachi's. You feel
Right,
me?
yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
and
So
then
I'm like,
he gets like Tsukuyomi.
and that's what I'm like.
So
When you're weighing up, like for example, Amaterasu, you have to keep in mind there's how Itachi used
that's
it.
the point I wasn't. That's Amaterasu is what I want to touch on.
Okay.
Amaterasu is the black flame that keeps burning, and it just keeps it burns forever
Perpetually.
until you understand.
Perpetually.
This thing sucks you in and just like crushes you and just like obliterates you. You understand? So it very much works just like fucking Amaterasu, but in a different way. You understand? Like
it is able to be used under precise control as well.
Exactly.
I
You
do
understand?
hear it.
So she might have her Kagetsuchi like baked into the cake, probably.
Okay, good link. Good link.
You understand? So yeah, I think her Sharingan stacks up pretty well. Power drain though, now we're gonna really see it because it was already clear that you just don't have the stamina for that kind of shit. And MSs are known to be like very chakra intensive, so she passed the fuck out right after using that. So it's, how you're gonna use that going forward remains to be seen because you're gonna need that like massive boost in chakra that I don't really see you get. You're not gonna get the Sasuke bullshit.
Do you feel like her MS should be strong enough to like deal with Shinju the way that we saw it like deal with him?
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So if we're talking demerits, no, I didn't. All right, cool. Like, I like the ability. I'm not gonna bullshit you, but I feel Ryu went out way too quick and way too easy. There was no struggle there. There's no I mean, maybe this is one of them things that get fleshed out more in animated version, right?
Definitely.
But she awakened it and Ryu was done. He had no cards.
I hear it.
No
so
moves.
I can't remember exactly how the most recent chapter ended, but did it seem like Ryu was definitively like
Soul
done?
Thorn.
So he's a soul thorn now.
All right. So there was a soul thorn there at the end of the fight.
So
Yeah? So when I say like this shit obliterate, man, like, it fucking crushed him down and just like.
And
dust.
so he's currently a soul thorn right now.
You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
could he reform around it? Possibly.
Yeah.
Could he be fucking pulling some kind of fucking trick?
I mean, for all intents and purposes, though, if she, upon activation of it, reduced him to a soul thorn, she, for all intents and purposes, won that matchup. You get me?
Yeah.
Like, she won that matchup.
Yeah.
So the only reason I asked that is because I remember some time ago on the pod I did ask how we'd feel if somebody was introduced, if a Shinju was introduced and dropped in the same arc. You get me? And how I would personally feel about that in terms of writing. If Ryu is in fact definitively done right now, my God, that was such a flash in the pan. It's crazy. Like, your presence, your footprint in the story, as cool as you are, is minuscule. You know what I'm saying?
So leveled up to 2 then. What would you say about that?
About what?
2 Shinju in one arc, in one chapter.
Matsuri as well. Yeah, no, of course. Like, you can take the statement I just made and then square it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really arse right in my opinion.
They didn't
Like,
really show anything.
It's really
Ryu
arse
showed
right.
some good battle acumen. I respect that.
It's even more embarrassing for Matsuri because you were one of the initial like set. You know what I'm saying? You were one of the initial panel reveals that we got. You feel me? So I feel a lot of other people kind of thought you'd have more staying power and significance in the story going forward.
Definitely.
And
Definitely.
lo and behold, I feel like maybe that was us projecting onto the work. You know what I'm saying? Like that maybe.
I mean, she might not be gone, you know, because
of
Jura's obviously going to pull up now.
Of course, like she might not actually be gone.
Yeah.
But based off what we have right now and how this chapter's looking, if those two are in fact gone based off this engagement alone, then yeah, in my opinion, kind of arse right. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of decreases my investment in any future Shinju that I see rock up. You get me? Because you're gonna have to create more. if we're losing 2, one of which is like the original set that we saw, and another was created like maybe a month and a half ago. Yeah, if you lose 2 of them in the same arc that not too long ago started,
That's like what, a third of your fucking power, a fifth.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's a decent amount of your like manpower already gone. Kind of arse right. So you're gonna have to make more Shinju. But based off how I've seen you use the ones that you've already have, I'm not massively hopeful about how they're gonna be used. I feel like the only nigga that's gonna be of interest or note is gonna be Jorah, and of course Hidari by proxy of him being Sasuke.
Sasuke proxy.
You get me?
Yeah.
But yeah, those are my thoughts. Yeah, you were saying.
No, that was quite well put. I agree with that for the most part. Somewhat more okay with Ryu going than Matsuri. Like, that's how I feel about it. You understand? Like, because you said, I expected more from you, given that you're one of the initial sets. You understand? So for you to go down in such a fucking abysmal way as well, because you just kept getting sucker punched. So we didn't see you display any kind of hands, no abilities, nothing.
Like all of your dubs are presumed to be off screen. Like you versus Gara was off screen. You know what I mean? And here's the hope, and the anime actually shows you that motherfucking fight. Because if not, then right now your best scrap is none. Yeah. 0. You have no actual fire matchups at all, Matsuri. You feel me? Which is crazy. So that's why I'm like, I don't know. I'm cool with. I'm not cool with either of them dying in this chapter. I feel like it's a bad usage of 2 strong characters that could have been used more interestingly in the future. You get me? But if one of them had to go, yeah, take Ryu. If the both of them go, then yeah, that is very arse writing. You feel me? Very, very arse writing. I'm not gonna lie. Not the way I would perhaps use the characters that I introduced.
Yeah.
You feel me? But
like I want shit. Sorry, I got you going.
No. I was like, bruv, what do I know? You know what I mean? Like, it's just not super fire writing to me. Like, I'm not massively hopeful about any new Shinju that you then put in front of me because I'm like, damn, Ryu was introduced and got clapped in the same chapter. Well, not the same chapter, like the same arc. You know what I'm saying? Like, the same arc. So it's like, all right, cool. Any new Shinju I see coming up in the future is going to be like, all right, cool. How long are you here for? Like, the only ones with actual staying power will be Hidari and Jorah. It's looking like, you feel me? Assuming Matsuri is not also, like, gone too. But yeah, cool.
As if we lost her as well.
Yeah.
All right. So I know you're not the biggest Yodo fan, but I think she's actually gone.
Yeah. So like, she's
actually, like, she basically just fucking. You're just the same as fucking my guy then, bro. Like, you pull up to do God knows what. You didn't do anything.
What I'll say is this.
Or you did just like maybe spur on some Sarada emotionally, like put her in touch with like her feminine or some shit. I don't fucking know.
On its nose doesn't really make any sense.
Could have done that off the battlefield.
Like, on its nose just doesn't make any sense because there's been no real moments between Sarada and Yodo. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless there's moments in pre-timeskip Boruto that, like, I'm unaware of. And since TBV, which I'm acutely aware of, there's been no super strong moments between Yodo and Sarada.
I don't think they really had any interaction in the first
tuning in the tuning exams either.
I don't think that any
so I'm like, you aren't shown to be like any type of individual to be of note to Sarada. You get me? And again, how you were used in this arc, interesting. Like, if you do actually biff it here, it's like, what's her footprint post this? Like, as a character in the overall work. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck did the Yodo introduce to the story?
I don't know.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, I don't know. I was gonna say, like, my brain just like kind of had a brain fart, and I was like, boy, maybe it's gonna serve as Shinki's fucking motivation to like fight and take down Ryu. You can't have a Shinki with Ryu on pitch.
Exactly.
Did you understand? So what are we doing?
So it's like,
Araya? I don't know, like, guy. You cool, but you lost your sand sword.
Like, I'm thoroughly confused. You get me? I'm like, Yodo dying, and I'll keep in mind, you just said, I'm not the biggest Yodo stand. You know what I'm saying? I didn't expect her to die in this engagement, though. I was like, for her to be getting this much of a looking in these recent chapters, it was propping you up to be a character of note later on in, I don't know, like a Temari-esque way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a character whose face I would remember even if I don't see you 24/7. You feel me? Think Temari. No, it's not that. So it's like, what were you introduced for? Like, I see you for a touch in the tuning exams, then the time skip happens, then like the shit that we see you primarily in is like flashbacks when Shinki's there and shit. You know what I'm saying? Shinki gets captured by the fucking Shinji, and by captured I mean he's in the tree state now. You get me? We get Ryu, then you man pull up, Ryu's dead, you fucking die before Ryu dies. What was your overall fucking footprint in the story?
Nothing.
You see what I'm saying?
Nothing.
Like, and keep in mind, even when I put you next to Shinki and Araya, right? You next to Shinki and Araya, you still look like the least impressive of the trio. Even if I've not seen Araya's like hands or anything, design-wise, he has a cool looking design. You feel me? So I'm like,
I knew it was arguably more useful.
like,
all you did was serve to fucking preemptively fucking trigger the beef.
Like, preemptively trigger the beef. Like, Araya has a cool design. You're not fucking with Shinki's design, and you're not fucking with Shinki's hands. Or is it like the level of weight he brought to the story? You get me? Like the level of intrigue that he brings to the story.
Right.
So I'm like, why was she introduced this way? You know what I'm saying? Like, why was she used this way? That's how I'm feeling with how like certain characters are dying in recent chapters. Like, if these people are actually dead and this is how they actually die, I'm like, cool. You do you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna still rock with TBV, but it might be the first objective low point for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It might be the first objective low point for me, like, since TBV has like been on this run, because every chapter has had like either hands or information. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a person that can appreciate either. You feel me? Like, from a certain chapter, I might appreciate more information than hand swapping. In another chapter, I might appreciate more boxing than talking. You feel me?
Right.
This though, like maybe the last 2 chapters, not because of the hand swapping or the shit that's happening in terms of world building, but because of where the story is seemingly headed, it's probably the first objective low point for me. You get me? Because it seems like we lose 3 characters that were introduced like relatively recently. You know what I'm saying? A time skip Yodo, Matsuri, and Ryu. You get me? So it feels like the first objective low point. It's kind of how I'm feeling. You know what I'm saying? Based off the recent chapters.
Fair. I hear that.
You know
I hear that.
But yeah, that's kind of my take on Boruto, unless you had anything else you wanted to add.
Yeah, just one last question. Do you see Kawaki pulling up this next chapter or the chapter after?
Kawaki pulling up? Not necessarily, no.
So how? Yeah, cool. So do you see Boruto being able to somehow manage to get out of this engagement? Because
he's gonna have to. He's gonna have to.
He's gonna have to pull it out.
And that's kind of the thing. It's like, don't get me wrong, I rocks with the young lord. You feel me? But the fact that you pull up for this engagement kind of means that it doesn't mean like it kind of means that going forward, whenever it's said that you can't be somewhere, even though we are told that if you pull up to this place you're gonna die, that's likely not gonna happen. Boruto's not gonna die.
You will know. I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, him pulling up here does cheapen the fucking idea that he can't just pull up to any old engagement. You know what I'm saying? So no, I don't think Kawaki's gonna pull up, because Boruto is still able to just pull up to any old engagement, despite him being told not to be there, because of the way that the writing's been like chosen to go. He's just gonna pull up to any engagement that he should be, even though he shouldn't be there, if that makes sense. You get me? So to run it back for the listeners, of course, because that might have been a little convoluted. Yeah. What I'm saying is, I don't see Kawaki coming to like help Boruto in like a recent engagement or like this chapter or like anytime soon-ish, because in any engagement in which Boruto is told, hey, you cannot go there, if it starts to go slightly south, or not slightly south, but reasonably south, Boruto is still just going to pull up there because he's the main character of the story.
So,
you know what
exactly.
I'm saying?
So that's what I was going to say. So Boruto's going to do Shonen MC things.
Like, because he's the main character of the story, if he pulls up, it makes no sense that Kawaki then pulls up as well. You know what I'm saying? For an engagement that
he gets his ass beat and then Kawaki gets to show off a bit.
I'm like, boy, in an engagement that up to now, he has nothing to do with. You know what I'm saying? Like, in this engagement, Boruto's Boruto. You get me? But Kawaki putting up for this engagement, I'd be confused as to why. You know what I'm saying? A later engagement that's like different, sure. You get me? Like, if anything, I kind of expect Kawaki to make a reappearance soon-ish, just not in anything like to do with the sand. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing to do with the sand, but I do see Kawaki getting like a reappearance soon-ish. You feel me? However, within that, when that happens, like, your hands are gonna have to look different. Because up to now, it's been a kind of an arse showing for Kawaki. You get me?
Yeah,
whenever he pulls up again in the future, because obviously now it's open facts that you have been having your powers reduced by your man said, I was about to say Yodo there, Amado.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It is high facts that you've been having your powers reduced by Amado. You've since tried to cut a deal with him to get that removed. So now the next time I see you, Kawaki, and you pull up, those hands need to look different. You feel me? Like, I don't expect to see you getting kicked through fucking like buildings and shit.
Buildings
no more.
and water towers.
You feel me?
And
Like
shit.
water towers and shit. That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't really expect to see that no more. So that's kind of why I've kind of reserved judgment on Kawaki as of yet. You get me? So I'm like, cool, you can stay behind the scenes for now, because the longer he's off screen, the more feasible it is that you have been getting these upgrades done. You get me? So the next time you pull up, those hands need to look different. It can't just be the Boruto show. You feel me?
Well, that's the problem. That's the problem I had. You know what I'm saying? Because he was told like not to pull up, and he still pulled up to save Konohamaru. Bro still couldn't pull his ass out of that problem there. But Konohamaru discussions aside, Boruto pulled up doing like we just said. You know, he's gonna do what Shonen MC do. They're gonna pull up and last minute and look all heroic and shit like that. And I really didn't want him to.
Neither did I.
Yeah, I really didn't want him to.
Neither did I.
I wanted these man to like showcase that, yo, we can handle shit as well without Boruto having to like pull up and save us just because.
Because he did it with Himawari and her set. I can't remember everybody that was there. Himawari, Inojin, and Shikadai. You know what I'm saying? He did it for them. Now he's here doing it for you, man. You know what I'm saying?
So did it for Sarada as well, like with Hidari.
And you did it for Sarada with Hidari.
Again at the beginning as well.
What it's looking like is, don't get me wrong, it's cool to write Boruto to be stronger post-time skip. But you're going to, if you continue writing it this way, you're gonna like run into the dangerous issue of making Boruto the only relevant character.
Pretty much.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because it's already becoming kind of hard to remember some of the other niggas in the background. You get me? Like in the wake of the shit that you can see him do already. You get me? Like it's becoming hard to remember like why the fuck I should care about Ashikada beyond his like intelligence. You know what I'm saying? His seeming intelligence, because my nigga. What the fuck?
See, even all of that. Even all of that. We're going to wrap up, but even all of that, because if Matsuri goes out now, where's the investment for Team 10? Like, their teacher, was it Team 10 or Team 5? Team 10, isn't it?
Team 10, yeah.
Yeah, so their teacher got turned into a fucking Shinju, and then both just off-screens it. Like, well, not off-screens it, but both just, like, chopped her into pieces after Konohamaru failed to seal the deal, as per usual.
And now, you see the issue that I'm talking about.
Yeah, so it's like...
In terms of writing, it's just not a very good way to use some of these characters, in my opinion, at least. You get me? But again, what do I know? You get me? I'm not the guy that makes our fucking globally renowned fucking anime manga. You get me?
Yeah.
Yes, at least. Anyway, that's once again my thoughts on Boruto. You get me? Unless you have anything else you wanted to add.
Nah, I'm good with Boruto for now.
Yeah? And obviously, we'll wrap up the Boruto segment there. We'll catch you in the next segment. We're going to close it out with some One Piece. Love. Okay. And we're back for the second segment. You feel me? Back and active. We're going to be closing it out with some One Piece. So, 11:46, 11:47. If you're tapped in and you're clued in, then you already know a lot of the ish we're going to be talking about. Right? For me, a real point of contention has always been, well, not really contention, but a point of interest has been the fact that, like, the God's Knights are seemingly immortal now.
Right.
And the fact that they're immortal, for a long while now, I've always felt like their powers, or at least the powers of the people in the upper echelons of the Celestial Dragons, they probably like derive their strength or get their powers directly from Imu. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, they probably get their strength directly from Imu. Because the same thing that the Gorosei can do outside of their seeming like fruit abilities, the God's Knights can do. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And the Abyss ability, the ability to teleport in using the pentagram circles, is something that has been known to be bestowed upon others by Imu. You get me? So it's like, cool. If Imu's the one that gave you the ability to teleport via pentagram circles, and you man are functionally immortal, or at least physically immortal, in the same way that we've seen the Gorosei eat attacks and then regenerate from them, that does kind of let me know that Imu, for one reason or another, has the ability to bestow both immortality, like a functioning form of it, and the Abyss mark. So whatever that makes Imu as an entity is unlike anything that we've seen in One Piece so far. Dead ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what that makes Imu as an entity, or what it represents as a concept in One Piece, holds Imu entirely apart to anything that we've ever seen somebody have the ability to do in One Piece up to this point.
True.
You feel me? Like, I've
you've never seen anybody with the ability to like sheer ability,
like power bestow, like power bestow.
Exactly. To bestow abilities on other people.
Like power bestow.
You can like buff them in weird ways and stuff like that, but and not to the extent that Emu's
done. You know what I'm saying?
Like, do we actually need a list of like all the abilities that Emu's demonstrated so far, or at least can be like attributed to fucking Emu?
Like there are the people that sit there and think Emu himself still has, or itself. Let me not say himself. My bad. You know what I'm saying? Let me not misgender Emu. Yeah. Although I feel like I am safe in saying he, but for now, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there is something to say. Like, there are the people that still think that Emu has a fruit, which is what gives him his abilities. You know what I'm saying? And whereas initially I kind of thought he just maybe might have a super jacked up fruit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like a super roided up fruit, like a fruit that's on gas. When I look at these abilities and the shit that you can seemingly do, on top of being able to fucking shapeshift, you know what I'm saying? Like we see him do, even if it was just his silhouette. We saw the motherfucker shapeshift to the point that he could eat a fire attack from fucking Saba, who at this point in the story is not a weak individual.
No, he's not.
You feel me? So you can shapeshift to the size and stature that we saw, because like man was towering over
everybody
you know
else
what I'm
as
saying?
well.
Like,
Yeah.
cool.
So he has a
Right.
monster form.
You have a monster
He has the
form
ability to like bestow immortality.
and the ability
You
to
can
bestow.
seemingly use the abilities from the people you've bestowed abilities on. Just as the one example, so I saw somebody point out that the thing that was used to stab Cobra was shaped like an arrow, similar to Gonko's fucking arrow fruit. Do you
On
understand?
my soul, no, that is a fire.
Did you understand?
That
So it's
is
like
a fire through line to make. Like whoever made that local through line, I hadn't even considered it, but it's perfectly there. It's literally a black arrow that looked like it could just move the way it wanted to, exactly like Gunko's.
Exactly.
So yeah, you know what I'm saying?
So-
like that adds another layer of intrigue to Emu. You get me?
how
So
much
it's like,
you can do. Like,
you-
like we're over here sweating over Blackbeard and his 2 fruits. Maybe he gets 3. Emu out here bidding like
and then here's the thing, right?
everything and anything under the sun.
I don't know if I'm comfortable with saying that I think Emu's power set lies behind the fruit anymore.
Yeah. I think that's what your expectation is. So my
Yeah.
bad. Carry on.
No. I mean, that's fine. I mean, I kind of got through the majority of what I was going to be, you know what I'm saying? But I say all of that to say, I don't feel like I'm comfortable saying Emu's power set lies behind the fruit anymore, because it can't. It cannot. The only other person that we've seen move in such a way, like you do something that cannot be done anywhere else in One Piece, is Blackbeard, by taking 2 fruits. And we still don't know how he does that, the means by which he does that, and you've never seen anybody else do anything similar.
True.
You get me? So I'm like, cuz I don't think what makes Emu is anything fruit related. You get me? And that should worry me, you, and the audience. You get me? Because it means that we've really, really been lowballing this man's like potential hands. Really been lowballing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hadn't even considered the fact that maybe he can also use the abilities of the people that he's bestowed powers on, because that tail thing that like pierces Cobra and the arrows that Gonko uses, they actually do look eerily similar. You know what I'm saying? Even in how they're drawn in fucking the manga. You get me? Eerily similar. So I'm like, holy, if that is true, then cause we've seriously been like lowballing what Emu's gonna be able to do. You get me? So I say all of that to say, we're gonna have to figure out a way to skirt immortality. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna have to figure out a way to deal with immortality,
Bypass that.
which is fun, because the thing about immortality is it's immortality. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna have to figure out a way to bypass the immortality and do some type of meaningful, long-lasting damage to these man. Like maybe you're gonna need a new damage type, but like in the sense that, cool, you know how for a time nobody could touch low gear users? You know what I'm saying? And then it came about that no, only man with Bush or Shoku Haki can really touch them, man.
Right.
Maybe we're gonna need a new power system. Well, not a power system, but a new power set. You know what I'm saying?
But
like,
we just got that through Rio.
But here's the thing,
And Ryo's still
Ryo's
not cutting it.
and Ryo is just an extension of Haki, though. You get me? So that's when I say a new power set. I'm not talking about like a subcategory of Haki. I'm talking a new power set. You get me? Because like you just said, Ryo's not cutting it.
Ryo's not cutting
You get me?
it. Right.
Like, and
And
it's
to
not,
an
and it's not a
extent-
weak Luffy that was
To
using
an extent,
Ryo
even the
attacks.
conquering, even
That's
them
what I'm
conquering
saying.
King Haki,
It's
not
not
really
a
working.
weak version of Luffy that was using these attacks on Saturn and still having man like grow back his fucking body parts and shit. You feel
And
me?
Luffy complained that he's too hard.
Like
Pause.
he's too hard. Pause. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, I think we might need a new power system. Although I feel like it's too late in the game to introduce one, or you're gonna need a new power set, something that can meaningfully damage immortal individuals.
Do you think? All right. So let's put a pin in the new power set or ability or damage type.
All right.
Right. Do you think it's more so a thing than of
What's up?
Haki output?
Perhaps.
Right.
Perhaps.
And
And I
I-
feel like
and-
I know the point you're going to use to make
Because of Emmett.
Yeah, the knot.
You understand?
Yeah.
Like that sent them man
Yeah.
right the fuck
That-
back to
yes.
Marishua. And Emmett and
But it
Emu.
might actually be that. It might actually
you understand?
be,
Like,
it might just
it
be
has
like
to be like
the
Haki
quality,
output. It could be
just the sheer quality of Haki.
yeah.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
me
Like,
saying has to. It doesn't have to be shit, but
you know what I'm saying?
that's really what I'm concerned
it
about.
might
It's bro.
it might really be that. I can't lie to you. That's an excellent way of illustrating it as well. You know what I'm saying? Like the knot on MF. Like when he untied it for the viewers, when he untied it, it let out a Haki shockwave that was large enough to cover the entire island of Egghead, completely send back the Gorosei and transform them back into their human forms, bar Saturn for some reason. Yeah, for some reason. You know what I'm saying? That is interesting. Yeah, but it also reached far enough to reach Pangea Castle. You know what I'm saying? Pangea Castle in Emu's quarters and made that man double over like Joy Boy. You feel me? So I'm like, it might very much be a situation like non-flashbacks. You feel me? It might very much be a situation of it being only a certain quality of Haki, like a sheer powerful enough version of Haki that up to now we've not seen that is able to damage these seemingly immortal
all right, cool. What about the Haki then? So all right, let's say Luffy ain't got it yet,
and that's my thing.
Shanks. What about the like Shanks' level of Haki?
I still don't think that would be I still don't think that would be substantial enough. Because keep in mind, I genuinely feel like for as strong as Shanks is, Shanks is still allowed to operate on these seas. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if Emu wanted Shanks gone, Shanks is gone, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Yonko or not. You know what I'm saying? I could have all 5 of the fucking Gorosei and the Gods Knights converge on me. And I'm sorry, Shanks, I fucks with you. The long way, the strong way, never the wrong way. You my guy. You feel me? But all of them all of those powerhouses converging on your crew alone explicitly, gang, you'd be cooked. You feel me? So the harsh reality is this, yeah? The level of power that the Gorosei have is such that the world at large doesn't understand that you are simply allowed to operate, cuz. You get me? Like Yonkos, Shichibukai, pirates, villages, all of them. You feel me? You man are allowed to operate on these seas. If I genuinely wanted you gone, look at what's happening at Elbaf now. Up to now, we were told that nobody can like make Elbaf come do some shit. You feel me? You find out behind the scenes, oh no, we just haven't put the fucking like screws on them niggas properly yet. You feel me? Look at what's happening. You feel me? So that's why I'm like, hey, up to now, I don't feel like a singular character in the story has displayed the prerequisite amount of Haki required to meaningfully damage one of these like immortal individuals. As strong as I believe Shanks to be, you know what I'm saying? As strong as I believe Shanks to be, I don't think even his level of Haki can cut it. I'm not gonna lie to you. You feel me? I don't feel like I was very particular with my words. You feel me? I don't feel like we've been shown a character that can display that level of Haki as of yet. And the reason I say shown is because the only person that has, we've only seen a silhouette of that nigga.
Joy Boy?
Yeah, okay. Exactly. You feel me? We've only seen a silhouette of that nigga, and the Haki in question was done posthumously. You feel me? So we ain't seen a nigga that can match that as of yet. But yeah, I feel like that little find, like that little find online wherever you saw it was a fire through line. You know what I'm saying? In regards to the fucking Gunko thing I'm talking about, like I still ain't really left that. You get me? But in regards to the Gonko and Emu stabbing Cobra, you know what I'm saying? The whole arrow 1-to-1 fire. And the fact that it might be joy, but it might be a Haki based thing that's like allows us to damage these immortal individuals using the Joy Boy Egghead thing. For example, you get me?
Yeah.
For example, but yeah. Well,
last question. All right. So everybody's kind of convinced that. Well, I shouldn't say everybody. Need to stop being pretentious like that. Anyway, right. So theory online: Gunko is a double agent for the revolutionaries.
I've been trying to float it. I'm not lying to you.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough. Right, and I see all the clues for it. Yeah, not gonna argue.
Keep in mind, nothing is done. I mean, boy, let's not say nothing is ever done for no reason in the world of manga. You get me? Just look at JJK. You feel me? But when it comes to One Piece, at least, it's one of the biggest hitters, bro. So like most choices are done meaningfully. You get me? And I don't think it's like an accident that Sis looks like such a fucking revolutionary. You get me?
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're a perfect one-to-one revolutionary. You feel me?
All right.
But yeah, go on.
So, all right, cool. So she's already the weak link. In one theory. Now, in the most recent chapter, we see that Gunko managed to capture the Straw Hats that she were fighting in 1146. Right? Brooke among them. And we already knew that she was a fan of Brooks from before.
What?
So we were kind of waiting to see what was going to happen there with them two meeting. Yes, and aside from Oda seemingly having some S&M fetishy stuff.
Yeah.
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 She wants Brooke as her personal slave.
Her personal music slave, I
right?
believe.
So obviously
Brooke's
it's not a
response-
recap. Brooke turned that shit down like a G.
and
You
Brooke's
understand?
response to that is why, like, that's my guy. You
You
get me?
understand?
Like,
So
I fuck with
not that. But do you think Brooke can maybe use music to sway Gunko, to maybe helping the Straw Hats on Elbaf?
Here's why I'll say. Here's why I'll say no. Right? I feel like Gonko is going to be somebody that potentially aids the Straw Hats, just not right now in Elbaf. You know what I mean? I don't think it's going to be right now in Elbaf. I feel like I don't see Gunko biffing it here in Elbaf. Not going to lie to you, I don't see it. Right? But I do see her being a character that will, in some way or form, actually have like a change of mind in some regards, and perhaps assist the Straw Hats. You feel me? But it won't be now on Egghead. The man said Egghead. It won't be now in Elbaf. It will be like post this. You know what I'm saying? So post the Elbaf arc. Will the means by which that change is achieved be through Brooke and music? There's enough setups there. You know what I'm saying? Again, when it comes to writing a manga and these choices, you don't do anything by chance. You feel me? Like you're being very purposeful. So can Brooke be the vector by which this change is achieved? Of course. You know what I'm saying? Like I kind of see there's enough of a through line there. You know what I'm saying? She's a diehard fan of the man's music.
Right.
She's already asked him to join her. You know what I'm saying? And if anything, his like the way he declined might have actually already gone a long way of kind of making her see, damn, like these non-godly individuals are actually about, like, you know what I'm saying? Like these non-godly individuals, like, even though they're insects, like they still firmly believe in what they believe in, and like on some level that might be commendable.
Conviction, my nigga. Conviction.
You know what I'm saying? Conviction. It's a little different to like outright brainwashing. You get me? Cool. Which is what like effectively the Celestial Dragons have done to the rest of the world. You get me? It hits a little different. Conviction hits a little different to actual brainwashing. You get me? Yeah. So yeah, I feel like that. Can I see her like joining the? Well, not joining. Not joining the Straw Hats. Like that was me. That was me misspeaking.
Listen,
I can't lie. That was me misspeaking. You know
after what's her name? After Yamato, yeah.
That was. I'm done. Man said Yamato, boy. After what's her name? Lilith. For me, boy. Like I genuinely thought like Lilith would be a fire addition to the Straw Hats. You know what I'm saying? Like an additional chick. You know what I'm saying? And you'd be like a science-based one
that can help Sankey like
you know
improve shit,
upgrade the ship, keep us technologically on shot, like on top of shit. But hey, man, what the fuck do I know? You get me?
Yeah.
So do I think she's going to assist the Straw Hats in some capacity? Yes. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think it will be here on Elbaf. You get me? Not with the other pieces that we have on the board. Like she still has two other God's Knights that are firmly God's Knights. You get me? That are there with her. So I feel like one or like both of them will need to be off the board before she starts to have this little change of mind effect. You get me? But I do see Brooke being the means by which this change of mind is achieved.
Yeah. Okay.
You get me?
Yeah. So Brooke has a purpose this arc. Good.
You know what I'm saying? And I like it. You get me? Some relevance for my guy. I can't lie.
Yeah.
You see me?
One last question, real quick. Do you think everything's gonna happen on Elbaf? So we're gonna like the whole arc takes place and done on Elbaf, or is Elbaf kind of like that setup island?
I believe that, and I'm gonna have to be very, very careful in how I say this. Yeah, I feel like Elbaf itself is going to be quite literally used to set up the later engagements that's going to be in the latter half of One Piece, like the latter 20% of One Piece. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Elbaf itself, because of the intrigue that's been built up about it and the amount of eyes I wrote out on it, it's going to be used to set up what like the last 20% of One Piece is going to look like in terms of like engagements and like severity. You feel me? Like you're gonna start seeing man drop if man are gonna start dropping. You feel me? You've already started to see concepts like man being tortured. You get me? Loki was being tortured by Gonko and my guy. You know what I'm saying? Gonko and Shamrock. You feel me? And now we're getting closer and closer to the more sensitive topics of like actual slavery. You get me? Celestial dragons. You feel me? And by that I mean celestial dragons. Okay? You feel me? Like by the time we start reaching over there and we start divulging that part of the fucking story, a lot of the celestial dragons in the workings are going to be like revealed. You get me? And you're going to start to see how like actual slavery looks like in your world of One Piece. You get me?
Yeah, I feel you have a pretty good understanding of what that is, like brandings and all them kind of things.
You get me?
Pretty good look. The inner workings, sure, but what slavery looks like, we're pretty clear on that already.
Actual slavery. You feel me? Like slavery, torture, that type of shit. You feel me? So that's why I feel like Elbaf will be used to set up like the more real shit in the last 20% of One Piece. You get me? But Elbaf itself will still be its own arc with like the crescendo being around Loki's whole.
So beginning, middle, and end. Yeah. It will have its own.
Like it will have its own arc. You feel me? It will have its own beginning, middle, and end. It's just the arc itself will also be used to contextualize what the last 20% of One Piece looks like.
Sure.
And really quickly before we close it out, I am led to believe that Harold was in league in some capacity with the God's Knights, or at least Imu.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
had instructions.
Like you had instructions.
Summers.
Like,
Summers blatantly told like, bro, you were supposed to like destroy the library.
Yeah, like you fumbled.
And
you
know,
me? You
shut
fumbled.
down the schools and you fumbled.
And
we need
of
warriors,
course-
not like scholars.
And Shamrock himself said he was thinking to pay a visit to like his grave. You get me? As a God's Knight that views anything not celestial dragon as insects and like lowly, why would you want to do that? You get me? So I'm like, there's enough kind of indicators there.
Harold, you sell out, bitch.
Yeah, I hate to see it. You get me? I hate to see
So
it.
Loki had a reason to bust your head. But anyways.
But yeah, well, I mean, that remains to be seen. You feel me? But sort of my thoughts on One Piece there. Like, I feel like we can round it out. You dig?
Yep.
Then it's been Drift. I'm joined by my co-host.
It's BlackStarXero. Just call me Zero.
And this has been KTT episode 33. We'll catch you in the next one. Love.